Amazing here. Welcome to my Power BI tutorial right here on this channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to create this HR dashboard in Power BI. Bringing in your data from CSV file down to transforming the data in Power Query and actually analyzing the data, creating a very nice visual just like what we have right here. Everything is just very dynamic. We'll click on a particular visualization. So all the other visual that has linked to this particular visualization will get filtered. And this is how beautiful it could be. I'm going to show you how to create this from the scratch. So let me take you to the file that's generating the CSV file. So it can be some kind of a little bit scary, but do not worry. What we have right here is that we have every single data we have in one single column. And it's some kind of like what the heck is going on right here? Don't get tricked because it's very simple to be transformed with a simple machine built inside Power BI, and even in Excel right here if you've gone that advanced. So we have Power Query that we can use to transform any data you want to transform at all. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a jiffy. So right now what we can do is just for we to go back to our Power BI environment. So we're going to go back to our Power BI environment right here. So here we are in the Power BI environment. So the first thing we're going to do right now, so we have other pages. So we can actually click and actually navigate through that other pages we have right here. Now we have this detailed page as well. So when we click it, we can actually navigate through the page we have right on this. And everything is very dynamic. When we click on any of the visual, we have other visual to actually, some kind of filter down to that particular visual being clicked. So now guys, it's very simple, easy to be created. Let us add a new Power BI. So I'm going to click on new. So let's just get into a new file. So right now it depends on the speed of your machine. It's going to take a little while to actually come up. So let us give it some time. All right, guys, here we have it. If this is your first time when you start up a Power BI, this is what you get, but you might not have all those files right here because I have a lot of works opened and all of that previously before now. That is why you actually see what we have right here right now. So you might see get data recent is actually all this, and you want to open all the reports and stuff like that. So now I'm just going to close this to show you from the scratch what you can do to get this for the purpose of those people coming in from Excel and all of that, or from any other analytics software background. So right now let's see what the interface is going to tell us. So I'm just going to talk a little about this particular part right here, get data. So when I click on get data, this is what you're going to see. You might not be having the same visual as me, so I'm going to click right here and actually collapse this and see this is what we have right now. So now let's see what is going to happen. So give you this particular zoom in. So now if I go to get data right here right now, I have a lot of ways to get my data inside Power BI, all of that. So you can see all this. So if you don't have what you really wanted from there, you can actually click on more, and it's going to take you down to the other part of it. So it's going to take a little while to actually come up. Let us see what it is. So now this is what we have right here. We have a lot of ways to get data. Those are all the ways. And if you want to be specific, you can click on file, you can click on database, Power Platform, Azure, online service, and all this. So you can click on this. So if what you really want to get data from, like I think right now they're not that some kind of getting data from YouTube. So we have a connector that you can buy online and actually connect to your data on YouTube if you're a YouTuber and stuff like that. So right now I want to get data from text CSV. I'm going to actually click on text CSV right here and now click on connect. So we're going to connect to the file. So right now here is our file on my computer. So we have this file right here on our computer that we can actually get data from. So it's actually text CSV right here. So this is data I want to get to transform and stuff like that. So I'm just going to double click it, and it's going to take a little while to actually get in. Right here is connecting. So let us wait for it to connect and get our data right for us. Okay, here is what we are looking for. It's actually on a wrong delimiter right now. I can correct it and we have a data transform the way it should be. But because I want to show you some steps, so I don't want to do that. I want to have it on this particular wrong delimiter right here, because the delimiter should also have been some kind of tab delimiter. So I'm not going to have it on it right now. Instead, I'm going to actually click on transform, and I'm going to load this into our Power Query, right? Okay, here we are on the Power Query platform. It's a different machine entirely built in both Excel and Power BI to help you transform data the way it should be, no matter how rough the data is. And as you can see, we have 35 column being, some kind of stock inside one single column right here, as you can see it right now. So, but how do we do this? it looks some kind of scary, like what am I going to do? If it is the first time and you have not been taught how to do this before, you might get scared away and don't like, I don't want to do this, right? So now you can either click on transform or you click on home. Either one you clicked right here, you're going to see split columns. So right now I'm actually on transform previously. Now I'm on home and you still see that split column right here. So I'm going to click on the split column and you're going to have this right here called by delimiter. This by delimiter is what we're going to be using. I'm going to click on by delimiter and see what we have. Okay, now we have this particular one right here. So which is going to be split column by delimiter. So I'm going to go by tab. This is exactly what we need to use. Previously, we have it loaded with by what? By, I think by comma. So which is not actually by comma. It can't find comma, so it cannot split or separate it for us. So now I want to use by tab. So I'm going to leave it right there. And let's see how many columns we have, right? So go to advanced option right here, click on it. And you're going to see that we have what? We should have, what the heck is going on? I'm going to actually go on full screen. So we should go right on, we're going to use by column. So when we click on by column, what we're going to have is actually, okay, we're going to click on by column right here. So now we have 35 columns to be loaded inside our Power Query and split inside. I want to go say by each occurrence. So when we click on by each occurrence right now, it's now giving us how many columns we have. Number of columns to split into is 35. Do not change this, else if you change it, something else is going to happen. So I'm going to leave it this way. And what I'm going to do right now is that I'm cool with this. Make sure you don't change the setting. It's actually on columns. Don't go on rows. Mistakenly, if you click on it like this, it's going to actually default to something else and it's not going to work the way it should be. So make sure it's on column and don't click out, else it's going to actually be some kind of rubbish. So I'm going to click on OK right here. Now let's see what happens. So it just happened. Now you can see the 35 column is actually being right here for us. Can you see this? No extra column being added. This is what we have, but we're not really some kind of cool with it. So what is happening? So we don't have the header properly. We have column 1.32, 1.33 and stuff like that. So but we want this year and role and stuff like that to be on that particular column, like the attrition, the age, the business travel and daily rate and stuff like that to be our column header. How do we do that? Go back to home right here. And when we go back to home, we're going to see this particular part right here where it says use first row as header. Can you see that? So I'm going to click on that right now and look at what happens. So now we have our header right here. And the beautiful thing about Power BI or Power Query and stuff like that, if you're using Power Query in Excel and Power BI is almost the same thing. So you're going to see this particular part right here where it says apply steps. So now the changes you can make right here is that if you have some kind of mistake or you want to make some amendment and stuff like that, you can always come back and click on this particular setting icon and you go back to that particular aspect and make your changes and stuff like that. So now you can time travel into what you had done previously and you can actually name this part to actually some kind of like keep it very easy for somebody who's going to inherit your report and stuff like that. So going back right now, we are almost done from here. And for now, in a little while we're going to come back here to do some other things. So right now we don't want to do anything else for now. We want to actually make sure we load this into our Power BI module. So how can we do that? So just open this and actually say close and apply. So it's going to take a little while to actually be applied right here. Let us give it some time and see what it is. Okay, we just have it loaded right here. As you can see, we have the HR analytic data right here. So if I open it up right now, this is what we're going to have. And if you want to go to this is a report view right here. So I'm going to go to data view. So if I click on data view right now, what we can see now is the whole data that had been loaded inside this particular machine. So now we have all of them, all the columns right in here. And we can go to the relationship view or module view. So if I click on it right now, we only have one table. We can't see any active relationship right now because it is only one table we have. We can do a lot right here as well, but in my subsequent video I'm going to be showing you step by step. It depends on the kind of data we have, how to actually utilize every part of Power BI. So right now we go back right here. We want to go back to report view. I'm going to give you some kind of full screen right now, and this is what we have. The first thing we're going to do right now is to take care of this particular environment where we are going to create our report. So the first thing we're going to do is for we to make sure we change we change the background to what we really want. So we don't want the pure white background. I'm going to go to background right here. Here is my background. I'm going to click on it. So right here we have the background. I'm going to change the color of the background to something like this. But as you can see, it's not reflecting right on our background. So what is happening? So what you need to do is just to make sure you actually get the transparency reduced. I'm going to put it on 0. So now we have the background the way it should be. That is beautiful. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just like, okay, now I want some cards right here. How do we get that? So we need to get the card right here. The way to do that is actually go to what? I'm going to go to insert, just like Excel. So go to insert and actually go to what? Go to shape right here. And when you get to shape, we'll actually get this. And here we go. We have something like this. So we're going to take care of the size of this right now. I'm going to move it down a little bit and actually space it. And I'm just going to make it some kind of smaller. I'm going to have a card of this size. I'm going to bring it down. So can you see this right now? This is what it is. This is the card we just got right here. But it's some kind of too curvy. I might really want to reduce the curve of the card and actually change the color of the card. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to actually click on it and go to what? Go to the fill color. And right now I'm going to give you some kind of pure white, like go for this particular white right here. And when we go back right now, it stands out from the background. And this is what it is. So we are having some outline. So we want to remove the outline from it. So let's see how we can actually get the outline being removed. So click back on it right here and actually go back and you see outline. You have to turn it off from on to off, all of that. So you have this. And if we go back right now, we don't have the outline any longer. But right now I want to have some shadow right on this to make it some kind of standout. So you can see where we have the we'll locate where we have the shadow. So we can't see this well because we have some being cut out for us. So I'm just going to actually make sure I have my arrow, double click and actually shift it to open for us. So now I'm going to turn on the shadow. Now if we go back right now, we can see we have a shadow right on it and beautifully it's standing out the way we really wanted it. But sometimes you might want to play around with the shadow and turn into something different. Maybe you don't like the kind of shadow you have applied. You just have to open right here and play around with all this particular part you have right in here. And that is going to look some kind of very beautiful on your work and stuff like that. So we don't want to touch anything right here because we are really okay with what we have. And the next thing we're going to do right now, I'm going to have this closed because I don't need it. I always love to actually make sure I close this and I collapse it every single time I want so that I can have a lot of space to teach. So this is what we have right now. So we just want to make sure this is actually this way. I'm going to actually have to bring this down somehow. So we have something like this, and the curve is not what we have actually touched. So I might not touch the curve right now, but I'm going to copy this and Ctrl V. I'm going to have it pasted. Right now, what I'm going to do is just to make sure I have it kind of a little bit smaller. I'm going to drag it down to this end. So now let's see how we can actually make this to what we really wanted. So the first thing I'm going to change now is the shape. So the curve is some kind of too much. I'm going to leave it on some kind of 9 and see what I have. So on 9, we have something like this. I'm not too satisfied about the 9 we have, which is for the curvy part, right? It's for the shape curve and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna put it on something like 7. And let's see what we have right here. So the 7 is actually really okay. I'm gonna be going down with this and out of that. So the next we're gonna be doing right now is to resize our shape to what we really wanted and actually fix it into where we want to have it fixed. And I'm gonna go with something like this. Let me give it a full screen, and we want to have like 4 of this right here. So let's see how we can actually do that. Now to have it duplicated, what you can do, Ctrl C will help you to copy, and Ctrl V will paste it for you, and you can actually drag it down to this particular end. And when you see this particular red ruler whatsoever, you have it released, and you paste again, and you drag it down to this end again, and make sure it's actually right on it. So make sure you have this particular red showed up before you actually do that. So I'm just going to remove and actually get this right here, and now I have it. So I'm not some kind of too excited with what I have right here. All I'm going to do right now is just to make sure I actually move this a little bit. Like I'm going to move it twice. I'm going to actually get to move this twice again. I'm going to move this twice. I'm going to give that space right here. Now we have something like this being created. I'm going to actually arrange this, and actually I'm going to come back to you to see what it is that we can do. Okay, we have gotten this page open, and this is what we have. And if I go zoom in right now, you can see what we have as cards, but we are not some kind of quite okay with the color of the card. So we might want to change the color of the card. All you just have to do is just to click on it right here and go and change the color of the card right here. So let me just click on this one to change the color of the card here and see what it is that I'm talking about. So now what you can do is go to fill color. And what we need to do is just for we to apply some kind of transparency into this particular part right here. So transparency is going to be some kind of, we're going to add transparency of 29. So I'm going to put 29 right here. 29 transparency, I'm gonna have this. So now this is how we want to go by this. So this 29 transparency is really okay. So what we need to do right now is that once we have gotten this, I can actually just click on this and go to this and have it opened. So once I opened it, I'm going to go to home. You can see my format painter right here. So we can apply it to every part of it without having to do the same thing over and over again. I'm just going to have to apply this for this right here. And this is what I have. So we are almost there. The next step is to have this copied again. Once I copy it, I'm going to paste it and actually move it down right here. I'm going to have this paste as well as this. I'm going to have to bring it down. And here we go. So we have to extend this way. This is how big you want to actually create this. I think I'm gonna be cool with this right now. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna have it copied and actually paste it and actually move it all the way down to this particular aspect. And once I have it moved, so I'm just gonna actually make sure I make it some kind of smaller, just this way. And all of that, I can actually make sure we go this way as well. So then right now I'm gonna copy this and actually bring it all the way down right here. So I'm gonna copy it and bring it all the way down. Okay, if I find my position, I'm just gonna bring this down and have it open, all of that. So this is what I have. So what I need to do right now is just to make sure I have those copied. I'm gonna have it pasted. So we drag this down right here. So once we have it dragged down, so we can actually create what I want to create from here. I can actually make this a little bit smaller. And some kind of, I think I have to make sure I bring this all the way down here. So we're gonna go on shift a little bit. So I'm gonna go on my arrow key and shift it down to that end. I'm gonna shift this as well. So you're gonna do a lot of work to actually get what you really wanted from here, all of that. So you might not have something too perfect from me right now, but don't worry. So once you start to create this yourself, you'll see how, you know, how swift it is to actually have it created. It's very simple. I'm just gonna make this smaller and have this right here. Okay, fine. The next thing I'm gonna do right now is just to make sure I copy this and actually have it drop down. And I'm gonna create some kind of giant one right in here and all of that to actually get to visualize something. Okay. So you make sure you take it down, all of that. So you have all this right now. So if I actually make sure I actually close every part of it, and this is what cards you really have. So you can just play around to see what it is that you have and make sure it's actually right, you know, centralized the way it should be and all of that. So you will definitely have a very nice visualization. Okay, the next thing we're going to do right now is to add a text that actually tells what the dashboard is all about or what the report is all about. So I'm just gonna make sure I actually turn this back on, and right here you have to be insert. So when you're on insert, what you're gonna see is this particular text box right here. Click right on it. So once you click right on the text box, you're gonna have this, and now you have the opportunity to type in here. I'm gonna type in my HR dashboard in here. So now for you to have this formatted, so what you have to do is just to make sure you highlight it, and if you don't highlight it, whatever you do is not going to actually have any effect right on it. So now you can go right here and change it to whatever, you know, font type you want to have right on it, and actually change this particular font is type into this particular part here. I can make it bold and all of that. I can apply color, so I want to make sure I have it right on this part of it's kind of, you know, black color. So now once I'm done, I can actually resize it to what I really wanted. So I can actually leave it this way and go back right here and make sure it's been centralized. So have something like this is good. So very great. So I'm gonna have it down here. So I'm gonna have it down here a little bit. So I'm gonna have to copy and have it pasted. And once I've done that, I want to have something else right on this. I'm gonna make sure I move it here as well, move it a little bit down. So we have to change the text we have right in here. It's gonna be some kind of full insight. So the full insight needs to be some kind of formatted the way we wanted it. So now some kind of bold again, and I'm gonna have to reduce this to something like 18, and that is beautiful. I'm gonna change this particular part to some kind of something like this. So might be some kind of cool right now, not too cool though, but guys, don't worry, you can do this. So do it yourself and actually find how beautiful it is. You can actually get to format this. So but it's some kind of looking weird and stuff like that. So what we can do right now is just to make sure we click on it and click and make sure we highlight all of them both, and we go back to open this particular part here, and we see the background. We're going to turn off the background, and we will go back right here. We're going to find something like this. Beautiful. Can you see this? This is exactly what I'm talking about. So we have just created something like this, and you can actually go ahead and do a lot of things and get this particular part being transformed the way you wanted it. So now if we are cool with this, the next thing we're going to do right now, I'm going to go back right here and go to this particular circle aspect here and add this particular circle right at it. So here we have it. So we can now transform this circle into what we really wanted. So I'm going to go back right here and change the background, the fill color of the circle. I'm going to change it into this particular color right here. So pick this color. And for the outline, we don't always want any outline for it. We remove the outline and we come back here and actually make sure we hold on our shift key and actually make it some kind of smaller. So keep the shift key held and make it smaller as this. I'm going to move it down to my dashboard area right here. And this is what I'm going to have. I can actually still feel like, let me extend it a little bit. So make sure you always hold on your shift key while doing this, else it is going to get some kind of weird like this. So hold on shift key, you're going to have it done the way it should be. Okay guys, here is what we have. So we are about to start to write a logic to actually help us to get what we really want from here. So right now it's not that complicated. I'm just going to show you what it is that we're actually trying to do. I'm going to go back to the full data for this full one we're actually trying to replicate. So we want to get the total employee, the numbers of the male and the percentage and all of that, and get it visualized the way it should be, just like this. So going back right here, how can we do that? So we're going to go back and actually click on this particular aspect to have our data shown. So now we have the field shown right here. And now I always love to do something. All my measures, I need to actually crowd them up in one single table. So how can we add a new table right now? So all we need to do is just to make sure we go back home. And once we get back home right now, we can now see, we find where we have enter data. Can you see that right here? Enter data. So just click right on it and you're going to see a new table which is being popped out. So we have something like this. So all we need to do is just to rename this. I'm going to rename this. You're going to be seeing this a lot in almost all my tutorials. I'm going to click on, I'm going to actually type in new measure. New measures, something like this. New measures, I get it right. So after doing that, I'm going to actually have to say load. You don't need to edit anything. So it's going to take a little while to bring itself in right here. Okay, now we have a new measure right in here. So what it does is that we're going to start to write our logics, our DAX right in here right now. So all you need to do is just right click on it and you're going to see this particular new measure right here. So we insert a new measure. I'm going to show you many ways to do this. So now we have to go back to the top level right here because now new measure is going to be inserted. So let's see that. So we just got a new measure inserted. So all we need to do, how many employees do we have in the organization? Don't forget it's about HR. So I'm just going to say total. So we just have to click inside here. So I'm going to say total EMP for employees. So I'm going to say equal to, and now to get the total employees that we have, one single employee existing in the database doesn't have any duplicate. So all we need to do is to use what we call count rows. So count rows is going to help us to do that. So now what is count row looking for? Is actually looking for table, just like what we have right here right now. So what is the table? Is HR analytics data. So we have it. So I'm going to hit on my top key to get it right here. I'm going to have it closed and hit enter. So now I've just gotten my total employee right in here. And the next thing I'm going to do right now is just that I need some kind of comma separator right on it. So once you click on that, you're going to have it. So let's see the next logic we're going to create right now. I'm going to have it created before I started to some kind of visualize my data. So the next thing is going to be some kind of how many male and its percentage, how many female and its percentage. I'm going to say male. So equal to right here. So now how do we do this? Don't forget that we just created a measure, and the measure is this measure right here, total employee, which is total EMP. So now what we need to do right now, we need to calculate. Use the function called calculate right here. Calculate total. So total employee, I'm gonna actually have to set this total employee. Okay, we have total. Don't we name it total? Let's go back and look at what we have named it. Okay, it's total employee. So we go back, calculate. Sorry for that, please, guys. We need to locate where we have it. Okay, guys, let us do this again. So I'm going to insert a new measure. So I think it's just a little mistake. So I'm going to insert a new measure right now. So let's see what the measure is all about. So we need to actually get a measure right in here. So we have a new measure. So we just have to say male. So equal to calculate. calculates. So what calculate does is that it's going to make us to reuse the measure being created. So we want to get the percentage of the calculated column. And now before we get the percentage of the calculated column, we need to actually get how many male do we have in our organization and how many female do we have in our organization, stuff like that. So now, once we actually do this, I'm going to say total. So now this is exactly what we are trying to get right in here. So I'm going to actually have to get this right. So now I'm going to put in my comma. It's asking me for the field. The field is actually the column of the gender in our data, right? In our data table. So I'm just going to say gender. So once I actually click on gender, just like this, once I type in gender, I'm going to go down and say HR Analytics data. This particular part, I'm going to actually have to say, okay, now this particular part you have right here, from here down to here, is actually the name of our table. And this is the column existing in that particular table we have just pulled in right now. And this is exactly what we need to do. I'm going to say equal to. So now we are about to be specific. You can have like items, different items of things right in a single column, and you can filter that one single item you really wanted, and it will get it pulled away from the other part of it. So now if I start typing male, so now what Power BI is thinking is that, oh, you're about to actually get to use another function or whatsoever. So we don't want Power BI to think about that. So instead, we're going to use this particular double quotation. The same thing that happens in Excel is what is actually happening right here, right now. I'm going to type on my male. And here I have it. So this is exactly what you need to do. So you just have to close this right here. And once you hit enter, it's just going to it's just going to get itself calculated where it should be. And now we have done this. The next we're going to do right now, we want to get for female as well. You can put a separator should you have it more than 1,000, you have a separator on it and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do right now is just to copy this. I don't have to reinvent the wheel again, and go right here and say new measure. So once we add a new measure right now, we just paste it and just tweak it a little bit, and we'll have our total female. Now we just have to go right to this particular aspect here and just change this to female, and we change this particular title part right here to what? To female as well. And we are just down from here. And once I hit enter right now, guess what's going to happen? We're going to have this. And the next thing we're going to do right now is just to create the percentage of the grand total of both male and female. And we create a very nice visualization. So guys, we go back right here again, add new measure. And you have to understand that we have a calculated column that can do this for us, but we cannot use calculated column because when we use that, it's going to make our file to be very heavy. But there are some time we don't have any choice than to use it. So right now, what we can do right now, I'm going to say percentage male. So I want to have a shorter, description, stuff like that. I can now say, okay, now in this particular aspect, what function can I use? We have what we call divide. So this divide is going to look for the numerator and the denominator. So what is it the way I want to apply for it? So we always divide a smaller value by the bigger one to get a percentage. I'm going to say male. And once I tap in male, I have the measure I created for male right here. And once I hit my comma, so we go for the second one, which is the grand total. So now here we have it. I hope you understand what's going on right here. Please use the comment section to ask any question you really have. I'll really be very much appreciative. So now we hit comma again, and this is some kind of optional, but sometimes it's very, very important. Should there is any error, it's going to default to whatever you actually tell it to do right here. I'm going to put in my 0 right here, which is the alternative. In case there is nothing to divide it with, or maybe some kind of 100% data end is going to be 0 right here. And that is why we have this alternative right in here. So once I'm done, I'm going to have to close it. That is all we need to do. Hit enter and you have everything you really wanted. Don't worry. On the visualization, you will find it some kind of like, wow, this is what he was creating. So now I can actually copy this away from here. Just copy because I don't want to do this twice again. So now make sure you click on this percentage sign right here to have it on it. And I want to have it on the 0 decimal. And we just have to turn this to 0. And that is all you need to do. So we convert into 0 decimal. So here we go. So now we need to add a new measure again. And once we have entered a new measure, the next we're going to be creating now is the female gender. So we just change a little part of it. So we turn this into a female. So for female percentage, we just change it to what? just highlight this particular aspect. Once you click on F, it's going to go right on it, and you hit enter, you have this. So we are almost ready for our visualization nicely. So what we need to do right now is just to make sure we go into percentage, and after we might have done this, the next thing is just to make sure we remove the extra decimal from it, because we don't want any decimal point right on it. So we are done from here right now. So let me give you a full screen to see what is going on. And now here we go. If I close this right now, this is where I have all my measure right on. So I'm going to go right here on this particular column aspect. I'm going to have it removed. I don't want it. We're going to have to remove this from here. So I'm going to go quickly on delete from module, and we're going to have it off, because we don't have the need of this, so we have to remove it away from here. So now we have all our measures right here. So whatever you want to do, you can track a measure. Please, if you've not used this particular techniques before, just go ahead and use it. And if you're new right here, this is what you should be using. It will be very easy for you to find any measure you want to use. So right now, we can now go and click on this particular total employee right here, and it's going to default to some kind of graph. We don't want that, so we want a card. So we're going to look for a card. So we're going to pick this card right here. So it gives us the total employee we have right in the organization. But I'm going to tell you for real that, I always love to format to my text. So I'm going to go right on the formatting right now. So let us see how we can format this. Go on this particular painter or format or roller whatsoever, and go on the Go on the label. So once you click on the label, we have it on the black color. So you want to change it to this particular type of color right here, because this is the lead color of our dashboard. And once we've done that, we can come down a little bit. You see this particular one right here. So you want to crank up the size of the text of the figure right on it. So now we have to display what again? Okay. I'm gonna have to bring this down, and the font family needs to be changed. And what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna actually have to go to the top level right here and use this particular area black. So we have something like this being popped out, and this is what we really wanted. So after we might have done with that, I can actually zoom back to the top level and have this particular label being closed. And now for the category, this is the total employee. I don't want that for now. I'm just going to turn it off, and I'm going to turn on my title. I want to put title on it. So let's see what the title is going to be like. So if I go right here right now, look at the top level right here, we have nothing on it. So we're going to go on title, and now we're going to actually have to customize our title. So it's going to be total employees. So total employees, you can pick on that. I think we have it twice been on it. So now we have a total employee right here. So we need to some kind of go ahead and centralize it. I'm going to go down, I'm going to centralize it. So I'm going to have to change the color to something different. Like I'm going to go with this particular kind of color. So we have something like this, and I'm going to actually have to go and crank up the font a little bit. So I think something like this will be very cool. Okay, we are almost done from here. So now this is what we have. So we can make it some kind of smaller, just like this. So once we actually make it smaller like this, what we need to do right now is just to make sure we have this closed, because when I remove the background away from here, I'm going to take it down to the top level right here, and I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now we'll look for where we have the background, and we're going to have to turn the background off. But before then, I'm going to actually have to take it to where I want to have it. So this is where it belongs. So it sits tightly right in here. And after that, I go ahead and actually go to the background level here and go and turn off the background. So we don't want any background for it. So I'm going to turn it off. So now here we go. We have it fitting into the part of our dashboard, just like this. So we are almost right there. So it might look some kind of simple, but not too much. If you're new right here, it's going to take you a lot of time to actually get it done. So the next thing we're going to be doing right now is just that we want to actually, I'm going to actually have to do this once and for all. Ctrl V, we have it pasted right here, and I'm going to have to bring in my total mail. So I'm going to go for mail. So I'm going to have the previous formatting right here. I have to go right here and go to my data label, and I just have to make sure I have this in some kind of, maybe like 20. Let's see what we have on 20. 20 is too little. I'm going to have this on 40, and let's see what we have on 40. Okay, 40 is going to be some kind of, okay, we're going to use some type. So you can actually guess what it is that you have to use to make sure you get what you really wanted. So I'm going to use that 8. And once I've done using that 8, I'm going to actually have to make sure I bring it some kind of, down like this. So what we need to do right now, I'm going to have this closed. I'm going to go to my title, and I'm going to make sure I give it a very nice title, which is going to be some kind of mail, just like this. Mail, we have to use mail, and we make it smaller. And I'm going to have to copy this down, and Ctrl V will help me get this down as well. So it's not copied yet. Control C, Control V. We just go down, right? So we have to deselect this and bring in our what? Bring in the percentage of our mail. And once we have this right here, what we need to do right now is just to go back to what? Go back to this particular aspect right here. I'm going to put this on 10, oh sorry, on 20. So we have it on 20 and we change this particular color to something like this. So we have a black color like this, and we just have to go back to the title aspect here. So where's the title? We have to turn off the title because we don't want the title for it already. We have a title that actually guides us about what it is. So now we can make it some kind of smaller and make sure it's sitting right in the middle of it, just like this. So we have something like this. All we need to do is just to make sure we hold on our Control C and Control V to copy, and we just have to move this gently down to this particular aspect right here to create our female gender. And that is all we need to do. So after we might have done this, we just have to click right inside here and change it to the female. Okay, nicely formatted just like this. So now the next we're going to be doing now is that we need some images right here. So how can we get those images right in here? So all we just have to do is just to like go right here and bring some icons, go to insert, and from insert you can see this particular image. And once you've done that, just navigate through your computer where you have the images right in. So I'm just going to go on this particular part right here. I'm going to scroll all the way down because I know the specific place I have my image. So I'm going to be giving you those images to be used and all of that. So now I can actually make this smaller to fit into where I really want it to actually sit, right? So I'm just going to take it down here and give it some kind of a little tweak. I think it's some kind of cool with what I have right here now. I'm going to let it be like this. So I'm going to add a second part of the image for the female gender. I'm going to go all the way down. I'm going to pick this. I'm going to have to resize this as well. So just quickly resize this to what it is that you can actually get used there. Take it down to this particular aspect. So if you actually have it seated right in here, so you have your image that actually talks about both genders. So make sure it sits and actually align right the way it should be. So you might not get it. I might not get it perfectly right now, but once you're doing this on yourself or your own, so you just have to make sure you do the right thing. So click on this and actually get to see where it is. So here we have it. So we need to have a separator right here. I'm going to have my comma separator right on it. And here we go. So almost there. Okay guys, we have it. So we have a 1000 separator right on it, so which is very, very important for you to actually have it because it's on 1000. And we have something like this. We can see the percentage of our male and our female and our organization and stuff like that. So let's see the next level we can actually create because this is getting much more interesting. So if we come right here right now, you see not due for promotion and due for promotion, both the values and the percentages. So how do we do this? But if we go back to like, I'm going to go right here. I'm going to actually make sure I drop this down to understand what it is that I'm doing. Go to transform and click on transform right here. And we're going to go for the promotion column right here. That is years since last promoted. You are going to see what we have right in there. So, okay, I think here is now what I want to show you. I'm going to have to close this and go to the main data that we're actually using for this right now. So I'm going to go right here and here we go. We're going to click on this transform right here. I'm going to actually take you to the year column. That is years since last promoted. And once we actually hit that, so the column on highlight is actually the years since some of the employee got some kind of promotion in the organization. Despite it, some of those particular employees have been working for over 30 years. So now if I click right here right now, what you can see is actually we're going to actually load more to see if we have more of it. So we have people who had never been promoted for over 15 years, 14, 13, 12, 11 and stuff like that. But now what the manager, what the HR management is actually looking for right now is that whoever had not been promoted since last 10 years to 15 years should get promotion. So, and they want to know who are those people in the organization because they can't really think about it, but they have the data that back them up. So how can you help them with this analysis right now? So I'm going to click on OK right here or cancel it. And now what we need to do right now is for you to actually add what we call a conditional column right on this. So now I'm going to go to what? I'm going to go to like add column. So from add column, we have conditional column. I'm going to add this conditional column right here. So now the conditional column is coming up in a while. So now we have a conditional column right here. So what you can see now is that this is some kind of a little bit confusing, right? But don't worry. So the column name, so the new column we're about to create because we want to add a new column using a particular promotional or years since last promoted column. So I'm going to type in promotion status right here. So promotion status. So right here, the column I want to actually get some kind of condition is what I need to actually search for right here. So all we need to do is just to scroll all the way down, and you will definitely see what we are looking for. Okay, I think this is it. Year since last promotion. So you click on it and we have that year. So anything that is actually is greater than or equal to is what we're going to use. The operator type we're going to use is this. So we're going to be using many of those operators as we keep creating. So just keep watching. Now, 10 years. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to 15. That is, we have maximum of 15, right? So it's going to be some kind of needing promotion. So we're going to say due for promotion. Oh, sorry, promotion. Yeah, due for promotion. And any other number that is left, so not due, is what we want to use for it. So we just created two options. Okay, fine. We are done with this. That is exactly what we need to do. I'm going to show you how to add more colors in the subsequent part of this dashboard. So what we need to do right now, we need to just say OK right here. Click on OK. And we have all that being created for us. Can you see that? All that being created for us. So if you want to verify if this is really okay, no matter how good you think you are, sometimes you need some kind of verification, right? So let us see. I'm going to click on select right here. I'm going to click on deal for promotion. I'm going to click on OK. So now if you have every person that are due for promotion is between age 10 to 15. I can see right here, if I click here, what you always see is from 10 to 15. That is exactly how we had conditioned it. So I can actually go ahead and cancel this right now because this is what we really wanted and is actually is done for us. So now if I were you, because I don't want to have a very huge file size, I can go ahead and remove this right now because already we've used this column. If we have new data coming in, you don't have to worry about it. Power Query is going to take care of that for you, despite that you have this column turned off. So I'm going to go ahead and click on delete on my computer. I'll have that go away. So now we just have to load this and actually get a quick visualization right now. So I'm going to close and apply. It's going to take a little while to actually get itself applied right in here. So I told you it depends on the speed of your computer, but now we're going to have it. Okay, I think we just have the column right in here right now, but we can't see it yet. But if we go in right on this particular aspect, or we can make a search to some kind of promotion status, we have it. So here we go. We have it right here, due and not due and stuff like that. But this is not what we really wanted, so I can actually get it off. So the same thing we had done previously is what we're going to do right now. I'm just going to clear the promotion status away from here. I don't need it. So I'm going to have it some kind of, I'm going to have it closed. So for now, we just have to actually start to create our logic in right here. And I'm just going to show you this for the last time. I'm going to have that logic created behind the scene because we're going to be using some kind of sim techniques over and over again to get this created and get it visualized. So we just have to right click on it and actually add new. So in case in the previous one you did not pay attention, I think right now it is time to pay attention to what we are doing right now. So I'm going to actually zoom in to let you see what I'm about to do. And what I'm going to do right now is just going to be some kind of due for promotion. So how many persons are due for promotion and the percentage? How many persons are not due for promotion and its percentage is what I'm looking for right now. So for due for promotion now, what we need to do is to just say, okay, calculate. Use the calculate function. And once we use the calculate function, what is going to be the next is the total employee. So we use the total employee column that we just created. That was the measure. This is the measure we have right here. So now once we use this, I'm going to put in my comma. So I want to bring in the column. The new column we just got created in Power Query is what we're going to actually move it right here. So I'm just going to say promotion. So once I actually click on promotion, so we have that particular promotion status right in here. So we're going to have to bring this right here. And what column, what particular part of this particular promotion status are we looking for? I'm going to have in here my double quotation, due for promotion. So I'm going to say due for promotion. So mind you, if you don't have the spelling correctly, you would have to check very well, because if you don't have it correctly, it's not going to work. So I'm going to hit enter right here. And that's exactly what we need to do. And the next thing we have to do again now is I'm going to actually have to copy this away from here, because I don't want to create this over and over again. So once I have it copied, so what I'm going to do is just to make sure I create a new measure. So I'm gonna have it copied. Copy it. So go ahead and create a new measure. And once you've just created a new measure, you just have to paste it right. Paste it in right here and actually track it a little bit. So now we just have to say not due for promotion. So not due is exactly what we're gonna have. And here we're gonna have to use the particular part of not due. Not due. So now we have to bring all this in right here. So let's see what's gonna happen. So we can now go and check it out to see what we've just created, if they are right. So we just have to check it out and see. So we just have created not due. I'm gonna click on not due right now and see what it is. So if it is working, we're gonna have it on card and see on this particular card. So we have it on our card right here, and we just have this. So what we're gonna do right now is to create a percentage that is actually gonna be peculiar to that. So what we need to do is just to add a new measure. And I told you we had done this before, and I'm showing you again. And I'm not gonna show you again to create the other pad, but I'm gonna show you how to visualize all of them. So we just have to say zoom and actually go and like, okay, now for this not due. So to create its percentage right now, I'm gonna say divide. So divide not due. So divide not due by what? By total employee, and the alternative is gonna be 0. I'm gonna actually have to put my comma, and now we have our percentage right on it. So can you get this right now? Okay, I think we already have not due right here before formula before now. And what I'm gonna have right now, I'm having some kind of trouble to get this back right on it. So all I need to do is just to make sure I differentiate it with percentage right here so that we don't have the same thing over and over again. So if I now hit enter, it's going to be some kind of accepted. And after we might have gotten this some kind of, right on measure table, we're going to have to put it on percentage, and we just want to leave it on 1 decimal point right now. We are cool with 1 decimal point, and that is all we need to do. And the next we're going to do right now is just to make sure we copy this and we don't have to reinvent the wheel again, as I always say on my tutorial. So I love being lazy around. So go ahead and click on new measure and paste this right in here and create for deal for promotion. That is what we need to create for right now. We're going to have to paste this right here. It's going to be percentage of what? Percentage of due for promotion. So due for promotion. So right here, we just have to come right in here and just type in due. So we'll go for due for promotion. When I hit enter, you can see how fast it is to actually get it done. All you need to do for the first time is for you to understand the function you're using and how to use them appropriately. That is all you have to do. So I'm going to click on my percentage right here. And don't forget about 1 decimal point, just have to do that. And now we are set to get to visualize our data the way it should look like, all of that. So now we just have to give it some kind of little formatting. I know that. All right, we've just gotten this part done. So it's nothing, it's nothing much. So you can do it. I'm just gonna have to replicate and actually duplicate this. I'll bring this down right here. So, and after bringing it down, what we need to do right now, I'm going to have to change what we have right here and actually, apply some kind of formatting, and you'll see what it is. So due here is going to be not due. And right here, we're going to have some kind of not due for what? For percentage of not due is what we need to look for right now. Have it right there. So I'm going to have the percentage right in here. So we can have the percentage and we have this particular one being removed. So I'm going to remove it. So not due percentage is going to be this. You can see that it's on 95.1%. That was why it was kind of high. So what means for this kind of for this one right now, we need to have a separator right on it. So we just have to click on this due and go right here and add this separator right on it for we to have it on some kind of tile on separator and stuff like that. Okay, nicely. Once we have done this is the next level we're going to go into right now. So we have to visit our Power Query again to actually get something transformed and create what we have right here. But before then, we don't want to have something like this because we don't have anything that separates them to show that this is what this one is for and all of that. So I'm just going to go back to insert, and from insert, we're going to go back to what? To shape. And from shape, we want to take this particular line right here, and we have the line in here. So I'm going to bring the line down to something like this. So I'm gonna have to make sure I move the line right in between this particular aspect here. And once I've done this, what I'm gonna do right now is just to go to my line outline color and choose the color and go for it. And I'm gonna go for this particular type of white color. Doesn't look that white. Okay, I think I have a separator right now. Just have it, just get it. I love this, right? So now the next thing I'm gonna do now is this. So we want to create a service here right here. So how do we create the service here? Is for we to go back to home, and from home we have to choose on transform data, and we are back here. Most of those particular part of a dashboard of our data that we had been given is some kind of numbers, and it looks weird when we want to have some kind of visualizer. So we'll have to scroll down till we have the service here right here and all of that. Okay, here we have this particular year at company, which is our service year, which is the how many years has our particular employee been in our organization, stuff like that. So right now we are going to be doing something very different. So what we need to do right now is this. So we are going to be doing something different from what we had done before now. So we just have to go to add column, and you're going to see this particular column from example. So you just have to say from selection. So once you have done that, you're going to have this. So we have this empty one right here. I'm going to type at the heading. I'm going to type service year right here. And I'm going to come right here. We have it. We have them on numbers. So what are we going to do to actually have it to where it should be, the way we really like? So now this is what we're going to do. Year at service. The one we have on highlight is what we want to use. So make sure you click on it. So this is the one we have on highlight. So right now I'm going to click on 6 right here. And once I've done that, I'm going to type in years, 6 years. And that is exactly what we need to do. If I hit enter right now, what you're going to see that we have all of them right here. So now we have all of them transformed for us. So we can click on OK. That is what it is. We have it. That is the next one. So we have it. So now we just have everything we really wanted. And I've told you, once you are done with what you want to do, you can go ahead and truncate that particular part of the column. That is all you need to do. And the next thing we're going to do right now is the level, job level. So we have to locate where we have our job level right in here and actually add to transform. We have to transform that as well to get it used and stuff like that. Same thing again, we have our job level right here, and we only have numbers right in here. And to visualize this, it's gonna look some kind of weird. And the same thing we had done before is what we're gonna do again. So add column, we're gonna say from example. And if you wanna go on all and you selected some particular columns and all of that, so I'm gonna show you how to use this in subsequent videos. So I'm just gonna go right here, and we just need to add some kind of levels right in here. I'm gonna say job level, job levels. So go in here. I'm gonna say level. So type in level here. So, and what it is, check this column is 2 and hit enter. Just say okay. That is all. We are almost done from here for now. So all we need to do right now is just to make sure we go to home and close and apply. Just say close and apply. It's gonna take a little while to actually apply itself right in here. So we've gotten our service here right here. So what we need to do is just to make a search and all of that. So we have our service here. I'm just going to click on it. So we have our service here right here for us. So here's our service here. And what we're going to be visualizing the service here with is just going to be some kind of, I'm going to zoom into this aspect here. So I'm going to go by what's service here, and we're going to look for total. So total employee. So we bring total employee right here. So we have them right in here. So the next thing is going to be some kind of chart. So we need to use it on a chart. So we go for this chart part right here. And we have this chart to be used. And once we've just gotten this, we're just going to make it some kind of a little bit smaller. And I'm going to make sure it sits right in here for us. So I'm just going to make it to actually situate itself right here very much. So go to actually extend it this way. And I think that we're cool. So we want to have to remove this particular service year and the total employee from here and all of that. So we don't need the Y and X axis right on it. So what can we do to have that done? So we have to go back and go to this particular format right here for the Y axis right here. So we just have to go scroll all the way down and turn off the title. So we've just gotten the title being turned off. So we just have to go and close it back again before we go for the X. So we're going to go for the X axis right as well. So we just have to scroll all the way down. So we scroll down and have it turned off. So when I want to turn this off, that is how it's been turned off. So we scroll all the way down. I think we just have to verify if all of them are off. So I think we have all of them being turned off right now. And the next thing we're going to do right now is to change the color of what? We're going to change the color of the chart itself. So we go to data color. And once we have landed on data color, you just have to click on this. And what do we want to use for the data color right here? So this is our leading color right here. So we just want to use this particular one for the data color. I think we are going to be cool with this. So if you want to add some kind of data label right in it, so you have to always close whatever you have opened, close it. So data label is right here. So you just want to turn it down. So we have something like this and all of that. So let us check and see the next thing we have right here. So you can see we have position. So we're going to go on position. Where do we want to have it? So you want to have it in the middle, inside bears. It's going to be like, can you see that? So it looks some kind of so tightly well on it. So now this is exactly what it is. So there are so many formatting you can do, but right now I think we're going to like stop it right here, right now, and just go ahead and actually say, okay, now the next thing we're going to do right now is just for we to actually say the title needs to be changed. We'll go for the title. And for the title, service here is what we just want to use for service here. So that is exactly what it is. So we have to go back right now and actually go ahead and actually bring this here. For the service here, we want to actually make sure we're consistent with what? We're consistent with our formatting. Just go right here and actually have it right on this. So now can you see that? So we have this. We have just lost one of our formatting. So we just have to go back and put back that particular data label on. So we've lost this particular data label right here. So we just have to turn it down again. So we just have to. So the data label is still on it. The reason why we can't see it is that it changed the color for us. So we just have to change the color to what we really wanted. So I think we can actually go with this particular kind of color, or we just want to make it some kind of more whiter than that. So we want to use something like this. It looks fine. So nicely we have it. So now can you see this? So we have what we call tooltip. So if we hover over it, we want to know how many male and how many female in this particular 5-year range of like how many people are actually on service. So 5 years ago, we have 196. So I want to go down, go back here. And if I go back here right now, we can see the tooltip right in here. So I want to go right here and actually make sure I deselect this. And now I can actually go for male and bring my male gender right on the tooltip. So not the percentage aspect. So I'm going to go ahead and actually say for my male, I'm going to bring it down to the tooltip level right here. And for the female, I'm going to locate it and go locate for the female. I'm going to locate and actually bring it down here. And I want to go back and actually bring due for promotion. How many people are due for promotion on that particular aspect? So due for promotion again, not due for promotion. So I want to bring it to the tooltip level right here. So, and if we go back right now, hover over it, let's see what we have right now. Can you see that? We have it being broken down for us. So now this is exactly what it is. This is what we really want to see. So you can see that service year, 5 years. If you go to people that have spent 10 years is 120, 84 to be male, 36 to be female, not due to be what? To be 120. All of that. So we have something like this nicely, and we can go ahead and visualize this particular aspect as well, which is the service year. All we just need to do is just to search for a level, job level. So we just search for the job level right here, and once we have gotten the job level, the next thing we're gonna do right now is for we to actually search the total. So I'm gonna put it on the total right here, and once we go back right now, we can actually see what we have. And we can go back and visualize it the way it should be. I think I want to go ahead and use something like this to get it visualized out of that. So what you can do right now is just to make it some kind of bring it down. So and make sure it's set right on this particular aspect here. So to actually apply the same formatting right here for it, just go back and go to the top level right here and pick this particular formatting, Painter and stuff like that, and have it here. And we get every axis being removed for us. But we might not be some kind of cool with the color we have on the chart. If we want to actually extend our formatting, all of that, total employee by job level might be some kind of an ideal, ideal header for us whatsoever. Okay, right now I want to change the data color. So I want to click on this and change and give it the kind of data color I really wanted. So I'm going to click in right here. So and actually go to more. And actually paste in a code I have just copied somewhere, and I'm going to paste it right there. I've just changed the data color to what I really wanted. If I go back right now, this is what I have as my data color right in here. Can you see this right now? This is beautiful and very awesome. So let me just give it a full screen and let you see that what we have is actually making a lot of sense. So now if I click on this right now, like job level, so we want to format this particular aspect right here. Let's see how we can actually get it formatted. But before then, we can actually now filter through level 1. You can see what we have. 543 is what we have total employee in level 1. And for level 2, when we check about what we have in level 2, we are actually, filtering our data in our report and stuff like that, and it's working very, very well, guys. If you are not too saturated on which one is y-axis and which one is x-axis, keep turning this on and off. You'll see, watch here and see what it is. So right now, if I turn it off, right now you can see this is off and all of that. So this is why we have to actually touch and actually get to see what it is that we really wanted. So all we just need to do is just to make sure we go right down and see where we have this particular size of text size. So we're going to turn the text size to something like 9 now. We have the text size to be 9. We have it some kind of 10. Okay, we have the text size being changed, and I don't know why it's wrong. I can go. Okay, if it is not working for us, let us just change the font family into something like, I'm gonna go down, all the way down. I'm gonna use something like this. So this particular UI bold, so I'm gonna use it for it. So now I have that. What I really wanted is actually what it is. So right now I can actually go down right here as well. And make sure I click on this. So once it's been highlighted, I'm going to make sure I use the same thing, go down straight and actually use that for it. So it's going to make it pop out and all of that. So can you see that now? So now it's out. So we can see it better than before now. So now if I actually hover over this, I don't have any tooltip right here. It's only giving me this. It's only this particular aspect we have tooltip. And if I click on this right now, it's just going to filter all other part of my dashboard. Can you see that now? It filtered down to the level of the data we have just clicked on, all of that. So if I click on this as well, it's going to do the same thing right here, all that. So you can go ahead and add in tooltips right here and you'll be fine. So for this aspect right here, the company want to retrench some workers from service and stuff like that. And we have our data to actually get to do what it is that we should do to actually get this particular kind of visualization done. And all we need to do right now is to head on back to Power Query to get the level of retrenchment and people who are going to stay in our organization to keep working and people who are going to go and all that. So, and we're going to get that visualized right here. So now let us go back to Power Query to get things done. Okay, here we are at the right column to be used for that, and we always have numbers, right? So here at company, so the company want to go on retrenchment of that, to retrench some people due to some one aspect or the other. Maybe things are not forthcoming in the company and they want to actually remove, reduce some kind of cost and stuff like that. So what can we do right now so to help this? So what we need to do is what we had done before. We just have to go to add column, and from add column, add another conditional column and see what it is that we can do. So the conditional column is just coming up. We can name the conditional column to be some kind of retrenchment. That is a retrenchment status. So retrenchment status. So we go down and we just have to select year at company. So go all the way down and look for year at company. So go back again and search for it. So until we get to where we have year at company. I'm so sorry for that, please, guys. So we can scroll through and year at company, here we have it. So make sure you select the right column. So is greater than or equal to 18. People who have spent 18 years needs to go. And people who have spent above 18 years needs to go. So it's going to be some kind of retrenched, unretrenched. I'm going to use something like, I'm going to say on will be retrenched. I can just use anything just to make sure it tells my story. Will be retrenched. Will be retrenched. So the left number, the remaining number is going to be on service. On service. So those people are still going to stay on service. They're still going to be working for us. But people at that particular that had spent like 18 and above would definitely be retrenched and stuff like that. So I can now click on OK, and I'm going to add my new column. It has just been added for me, guys. So we're just going to go back and actually go ahead and actually close and save. And actually go back, close and save, or whatever, close and load for sure. So I'm sorry for that. Close and load. And it's going to be loaded. So it's loading gradually down to our Power BI. So now we've just gotten it loaded right here. Guys, do you know we've not saved? What if something happened? So we just have to save this into our computer. So what we need to do right now, I'm going to go to file. I'm going to show you how to save. And we need to click on save right here. So we kind of go ahead and save right now. and now it's not actually dictating any folder yet. So I'm going to go right to this particular desktop, and I'm going to locate where I'm going to save this into. I have my Power BI dashboard right here. Here's a folder we're going to be using for a lot of Power BI, stuff like that. I can actually go ahead and save this work right in this particular CoStat HR data right here, and right in here I'm going to say YouTube. That is YouTube lesson. So YouTube lesson, I'm going to click on save. It's very simple to be saved, very simple and easy. So it's now saved. So guys, I told you the same thing we had done right here and here before is what we're going to do. So behind the scenes, I'm going to do all this and get it visualized for you guys, and you'll see what it is that I've done. Right now, I've just gotten this created for you guys. So what we need to do right now is just highlight this and actually copy, paste it, and actually bring it down right here. I want to show you something that is very much important for you to actually get to know about, because we're going to be encountering a lot of errors like blank and stuff like that. So you will definitely know how to get to work around that. So if I actually click on this right now, I want to change this to some kind of on service. Right on service. So I'm going to click on service right here. Oh, we can't do that. So until I select this right here, I'm going to click on service. So when we click on service right now, we have it to be some kind of blank. So we don't have, okay, the blank right here is going to be maybe due to some kind of, we are not really, maybe we don't have the correct phrase or words for it right here, but we can actually go ahead and actually make sure, I'm going to expand it, make sure this particular blank here is being turned into something else. Instead of blank, we want to see something else. So how do we do that? So I'm just going to go back ahead and actually go on where we have this on service right on here. So I'm going to make sure I have it zoomed into, let's just see, and before calculate, we're going to use if and is blank. So I'm going to say if. So I'm going to use this particular function again. It's called is blank. So if it is blank, so we have to say if it is blank. So I'm going to copy this for now. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. If it is blank, copy this, and I'm going to close if it is blank right here, comma. What you need to give to me is 0. So you can actually use any custom you really want. So if it is blank, give me 0. Else, what you're gonna give to me, give me this this whole thing. That was why I have it copied, and you can close it and hit enter, and let's see what is gonna happen once we have this committed. So it's taking a little while, so let's just watch this right now and see what it is. If the blank is some kind of not error, so now we have it. We just have this problem because it is blank. It gives us this, so we have to check this out and see what it is. But now we still have to go and verify if the blank is not as a result of error. So we want to know. So now what we need to do is just to hop onto the data view right here, and I'm gonna go to my retrenchment patch here. So on services, oh my goodness, we have on services, and what we just used right there is actually on service. So we just have to go ahead and change it back to what on services right here. So I'm gonna go right here and change it to services. So we go here and say else. So we're gonna we just have to add s right here on services. I'm gonna hit enter. And that's what's gonna happen right now. Though we have solved that problem, I've just shown you how to solve that problem, and you've just gotten to know what it is that you need to do once you encounter such a problem, right? So now can you see that? So if I go ahead and expand this right now, we have this right here. So now we just have to Ctrl Z. I'm going to take it back to the right position. So once I've done that, I can now move this right here. I'm going to have to move this right here and expand it down to this end. So I'm going to have to move this right here and expand it to this end. So we just have to click on it and go to this particular format printer right here. I'm going to go to title. We have to say on service. So these are the people that are going to be on service. So the next one, I see we have to get a percentage of people that are going to be on service right here as well. So to get a percentage right now, we just have to deselect this one. So we have to locate where we have created on service percentage. So here we have it. So we have it 92.0% people are going to be on that. So now we've just gotten this done right now. And this particular percentage, we want to make sure is just carrying this kind of color. I'm going to go right here and actually make sure I have it all of that. So I don't want anything that are just below this particular aspect to be overshadowing the top level right here. So that was why I did this. So I'm going to hold on my control and control V, we paste it. I'm going to move it down to this particular aspect right here. And now we just have to change the story. I'm going to click on this and go forward, go to this retrenchment will be retrenched. So we just have the percentage right here. Will be retrenched, not the percentage but the value. So here are just these numbers of people will be retrenched. So now we just have to go change the top header. So I'm going to say retrenched, retrench, retrench. So I just want to create something like this, right? So retrench, I think I'm cool. So you understand this. So now we just have to put a percentage right here for the retrench. So we just have to select this and we'll be retrench percentage will be on it. And this is what we have. So right now it's very beautiful. So if you want to check in level 1, how many people will be retrenched and how many people will be on service. So once you actually click on this right here, so it's going to actually filter down to how many people is going to be retrenched. So we have 0.6% of people that are going to be retrenched on this particular level right here. Can you see that? And we have the percentage of the male and the female, all of that. So if you want to go people who have spent 5 years ago, how many of them? So none of them. So the same problem that we just encountered previously is still the same problem we just encountered right now. For the last time, I need to show you how to do this in a speedy way. Go back, will be retrenched. So because nobody is actually default to 0. So just first of all, to make it simple, copy from here down to this calculate aspect right here. Copy it down. After you might have copied, I'm going to copy it so well. Make sure it's copied all. After you might have copied, you come right here and type if. So hit your tab key to have it closed, opened, that is the open bracket. I'm going to say, okay, if is blank, so come down right here and close this. Close the first bracket, hit on your comma. So if it is blank, what do you really want? If it is blank, if it is blank, what you want is actually give me 0. And if it is not blank, so just give me all the form calculation we have right on it. So I'm going to hit enter right now. So once I hit enter, let us watch what's going to happen right here. So we're going to have something like this. It's taking a while, just let it be. So it's giving me 0.0% because there's nothing. And the reason why we're having this 0, 100 without the percentage is because we have to extend it and all of that. So can we see that? So we have to extend this and make sure it covers. So we have to do the precaution for this again in case we have a high percentage right here. It's gonna show up. All of that. So now this is what it is that we need to actually get to know about. So guys, I hope you've learned something right on that. So this is what it is. Beautifully, when we actually filter through any of this particular aspect right here, we get to see what it is that we are looking for. So now you can do this, go and do this for this particular D4 promotion and you have a very nice work. I've shown you how to do this. Let this be your assignment. So go ahead and do that and actually clear that out. Okay, right on this visual right here, what we need to do, we need to check the distance from home to work. Like the distance from home to work, how do we know that? Don't worry, we have a data that's going to actually take us to that. So go and actually go back to what? Go back to transform data right here. So we hit back on our Pi query. And here we are. We have to look at the column that is actually carrying the distance from home to work right here. So now let's check that. I think we have this column taking that distance from home and all of that. So we just need to add a new calculate column. And I'm going to show you something new right now on that particular aspect. So add conditional column. I said calculated column. Sorry, guys. Conditional column is what I wanted to say. So right now we have it. So we're just going to say distance status. So for distance status right now, we just have to locate the column that is carrying distance from home. So here we go. So if it is what? Okay, now that we've gotten this column right here, so we're going to say right now, if this particular operator right here, so if distance is greater than or equal to 20, so 20, so what we're going to do is there's going to be some kind of, we're going to have to list, okay, say people that are staying greater than 20 miles. I don't know how to actually explain this to you guys to understand, but don't worry, you understand what it is. So right now I'm going to say very far. So they are staying very far from the organization or from the company. So whoever is rated 20 are living very far. Whoever is rated between 20 and above are very far from the office or the organization. So we're going to add a new clause right here. So I'm gonna still use the same column again. So distance from home to the office. So now we're gonna go back again and say equal or greater than what, 10. So we're gonna say, okay, they are some kind of nearer, so it's gonna be some kind of close. So they are close, and now the rest people is gonna be some kind of very close, very close. Can you get this right now? We just need to add this, and we go back here and just add this. So once we've just added this right now, can we see that? So all you just need to do, go ahead and remove the column. You just have to go ahead and remove the column. So right now we have to come right here and change the data type. So change data type from here to what? To text, because it's not right on text. So we have to change it to text. So change this one to text as well, else you might have a problem as time goes on your report. So make sure you change everything to text right here. So you just have to change the data type to what? To text data type right here. So now we've done this, so we have to hop back to what? Hop back to Power BI and see how we can get this visualized. It's very simple, it's very easy. We're gonna create a very simple chart to actually get this visualized for us. And now we're gonna have to go right here. Where the heck are we going? Okay, it's still actually committing itself right in here, so we have to give it a little while. So it's gonna load. So that is exactly what it is. So we can now go right here right now and actually select our words. So we're gonna select distance. Just press the IS. So we see the distance status right here. So we're gonna click on the distance status, and we want to visualize the distance status by what? By what the heck is going on? Okay, you don't want to select any car before you do that. So I'm gonna deselect this, and once I have this deselected, so we don't want to select any damn thing. So I have it deselected and go back right here and actually click on it. Oh, distance from, I don't want to use this. I want to use the new created ones. I still have my other column right here. I've not removed it. So you go ahead and remove it if you have it right there. So I'm going to move that particular distance right here. We have distance right in here right now. And I'm going to go for this particular type of, and I'm going to go right here. So can you just see it? We just have very close, close, and very far. And I'm going to go right and select my total. Right on it. So total employee. So can you see that? This is what we have. So we can now go ahead and make sure we don't want to actually have anything being filtered right now. I have to clear the whole filter we have right on it so we can see it better. So now we have something like this. So I can actually go ahead and make sure I have it this way and go right here and have something like this way, all that. So we just have to make sure we actually set it right through here. Don't forget, don't bother about how it covers. So because we're gonna have to remove the background color from it. So now to have the background color removed, and I can actually choose anyone right here and actually copy the formatting and have it for it. So let me just give it this formatting right here. And we're covered it. So, but we cannot see most of our text. Don't worry, we can walk around with that and see what it is we can do to actually have it back. So come right here and go right to the label, data color. For now, we're gonna go for the label, and I want to choose a color that is gonna show up on the label. I think we're gonna go for this particular color right here. We have it fine, nicely showing up. So for us, so we're beautiful, we're good. So what if we want to have this particular one at the top level right here? What do we do? So we just have to go back to data legend, go for legend and show the legend at the top. Can you see that? So we show the legend at the top right now. It's actually giving us the full view of this. And I want to turn off the title of the legend, and we have it. So what if we want to actually show it at the top middle? We show top center, so we centralize it. So beautiful, we have something nicely like this. And we're not too cool with the color we have for this chart. So we want the color to be some kind of correlate with our color on our dashboards. We're gonna have to use this. Can you see that? So we change this color as well to something different. So we're gonna change this color. Then we're gonna have to change this color to something like, I'm gonna go for something like this. A little bit stand out. So we have something like this. So if I give you a full view of your dashboard right now, so this is what we have just done nicely, guys. If you have watched this and you're a hero, because you've just learned a lot about Power BI right now, Power BI, Power Query and stuff like that, you know, go smash the like button, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button if you've not done that, and share this team with your friends on Facebook and Twitter, any of your social media at all, because it's gonna be getting very much interesting. In the next video, we're gonna have to create more awesome part of the dashboard. I'm going to show you what it is that you need to actually know about the remaining dashboard and all of that, and how simple, how easy it is to use Power BI. If you want to know, guys, you just have to keep following me everywhere I go, because I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of things that you need to know about analytics using Excel, Power BI, and I'm coming with my SQL tutorial. Don't worry, guys, it's gonna get very much interesting. So if you love this video, don't forget to leave a comment, thumbs up, share to your friends, as I had said earlier, because I love to do amazing things. Design is my way, and I love logic. So if you love logic too, if you love design, you have to follow me anywhere I go. So keep filtering through this data. You're going to see how awesome it is. So to create this very awesome dashboard, you know what it is you have to do is just to get a data set and actually follow along as I create from the scratch. You would definitely understand what it is that we are actually trying to get into. So guys, I see you. I hope you see me too, because I got to go right now. So stay blessed, stay out of trouble, and always obey the protocol of COVID-19, because I don't want you to get ill.